Okay, so I went to the auto parts store and I bought some weather stripping to go under the underside of the hood scoop. I might have to trim some of it down. This is the thinnest one they had. So the hood scoop, of course, has this giant hole in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a large box with the weather stripping on the scoop, and then a smaller box around the radio, and hopefully that'll keep the water out. If any water does go past the 3M tape, that'll be on the side. So we've got the top all cleaned out. Looks pretty good. We got the grill drilled out. I'm not going to show you guys me cutting into my hood just because it's already pretty dark out, and I'm sure the shop lights won't give a good quality video. So I'll show you guys if I can, I'll show you the holes I cut, either on top of the hood or underneath the hood for like the access to the radio and all that stuff. I did do a test to see how this would work with the radio, and it works pretty good. You can read almost everything on the radio screen. Sometimes you do just have to move your head slightly to make sure you read the entire picture. But without the honeycomb grill, you can read everything pretty clearly through this plexiglass. With the honeycomb grill, you do have to move your head slightly a little bit. Sorry about the mess here. This project got a little messy, a lot messier than I thought. So besides the weather stripping, I also found a whole bunch of scrap wires you see here, and I just soldered that together to make an extension for the plug-in that goes from the car to the radio screen, and that works perfectly, and I'll show you guys there. But that's not really an important part for me to show you guys, because you guys could either buy wire that's long enough or make your own harness. There's plenty of videos out there. So hopefully the next time I come back, I'll show you guys the weather stripping on the scoop, and then hopefully you'll guys see it mounted to my car. Alright, there you see the radio mounted to the hood. I did a couple test fittings. What I found is that the weather stripping that I bought and the thinnest ones that they had, which is this size, is a little too thick that you can't see the temperature or the direction of the radio, like the temperature that shows up on the radio, as well as the navigational point that shows up on the radio. So what I did is I trimmed some of the weather stripping as best as I could with the serrated knife, and later on I decided to use the bandsaw, but the serrated knife works fine if that's all you got. So I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to put the scoop back on. I actually didn't go with the bigger square of weather stripping on the scoop like I thought I was going to. It just was too much, and it was fighting me too much. And it actually rained a lot yesterday, and the radio was dry when I came out. So the weather stripping just around the radio is sufficient enough for it to stay dry, as well as the 3M tape around that holds the hood scoop onto the hood. Alright guys, so I finally got the radio and the scoop installed. It got dark, so you won't really see any daytime images of it yet. That'll come later in the video as I wait for the next day. But I'll go ahead and I'll zoom in. I'm sitting inside the car right now, and as you can see there, the honeycomb does get in the way a little bit, so that's why I'm kind of moving it up and down. But overall, you can generally see everything pretty well sitting in the driver's seat. And if we switch it to nighttime mode when you turn on your headlights, it does get a little dull like normal, but it's not hard to see at all. The brightness isn't a problem. We'll see during the day, as I'm driving it around, see what happens, and I'll kind of give you guys a part 2 if you guys want, or if you guys care. If not, I won't post about my after thoughts about doing the radio like I did. But on the inside here, if we see, the screen's out, and I'm just gonna put some accessory switches in there. Probably the kinds I like to use, the metallic switches with the circle lights inside them. I'm still not sure what accessories I'll put into it, but we'll see. There's a couple I've been wanting to do. I just haven't decided which one, so I want to do like a louder horn, maybe an air horn or something like that. I don't know. Probably just like an old truck horn, because the Mustang horns are a little weak, because from the information I gather, horns are rated by the size of the vehicle, and the only issue I have with small cars, their horns are a little weak, especially if you're going on the highway. You can barely even hear them inside your car, so I doubt other people can hear you, but I don't know. So I'll just do that, and maybe some like extra 12-volt outlets, like a switch for there, and mount them over here on the side or something like that. The other thing I wanted to get is maybe put some bags on the Mustang and give it some air suspension. But I don't know, we'll see what we do. So I'm gonna go drive around and see the functionality of the radio, and of course see if the scoop doesn't fly off. But then I'll show you guys how it came out on the outside tomorrow morning, so you guys can get a look of the actual scoop on the hood and the gap spaces and all that stuff. So I'm gonna end the video right here for now.